Welcome back to our Monday Marketing Magic. I'm so excited because today I have Erika Connelly. She is an Amplified Impact graduate, but more importantly, before we got in here, I'm like, how do you describe yourself? What's your label? And she's like multi-passionate at its finest, stay-at-home mom, but I was teaching yoga. It's those of us that have this desire to continuously evolve. And she's like, I'm a coach today. I'm helping my clients ascend past the glass ceiling. Like they know what they're meant for, they know what's next, and they can see the blockage. And we use yoga and meditation and the tools of really moving through that which we're stuck in. And I'm like, wait a minute, stop. We got to go live on the episode because I want you to share this magic with the audience. So, hello, Erika. Thank you for taking the time to be here. Welcome.
Hey, Amber, thanks for the invite. I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah, I love it because Erica's like, yeah, I finally got back onto social media because of Amber, maybe into podcasting world because of Amber. And something that I really love is like letting social media and these different outlets just be an extension of our teachings to literally amplify the impact that we have in the world. And Erika, she is a yoga teacher that has transcended into a coach. And can you tell us about that journey? We were talking before I hit record about just evolution and how you're constantly growing into that next layer and identity of like who you are, how you serve, your mission in the world. And this is where you've landed today. We don't know where you or I will be tomorrow or anyone listening. It's like the soul calls us to grow. What was your evolution from yoga teacher to coach to?
Yeah, and beyond, right? It's a total evolution for me and so many others I know that feel like me. It's come from, so I won't go way, way back. I'll go to coming out of college and realizing that I needed a job, and I thought corporate, 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 and that's where I was majoring in. So I went into corporate and I continually felt like I was trapped. So I was never released from a job, but I was always the one to move on. So I kept moving on, trying public relations and going into marketing, trying all these different contexts, small and large companies. And then I said, those are not working for me. So then I started looking into teaching. I have also had, over that course of time, 4 children. So during the course of having the children, 4 sons, I wanted to keep moving and evolving. So I moved into the yoga also just for my sanity. I learned yoga. I fell in love with it. And then you fall in love and you want to teach it, right? So then I began teaching yoga and not so much kind of dropped off with the becoming a teacher in a traditional way in schools. So I developed that and began some programs for children, although I was certified for adults. I also did adults. And I fit it in so nicely. It was like a very flowy sort of way to live. Children first. That's the way I was as a mom. Children first, and then I would fit in where I could teach yoga. I was able to do that. Not everyone is able to have that flexibility. So then I moved from there into always moving and moving and moving. So then I had another son, my fourth son, and I left yoga for about 6 months and then started to evolve again. And then I began working in schools. And then when I worked in schools, it was within the realm of yoga. So I taught yoga in schools. From there, I've evolved even further. So now I am a coach. I've been coaching for a couple of years, and what I brought in is it's women over 40, and we can see, as a woman, I'm much over 40 now, but as a woman that was hitting 40, and I'm hearing this from so many people and so many women in my world, that there's this, you see all this potential and you want to do something from your heart knows it. And there's, even if you have a perfect life, something's missing, but there's this glass ceiling. And when we take a closer look, that glass ceiling is really an inner glass ceiling. So when you take a look at the inners and you work from the inside to the outside, within this coaching process that's very specific that I work with, you're going to learn how to come in relation with these obstacles and well, first we discover what those obstacles are. And when we came into them in our lives, a lot of times it's when we're youth. And we work with that to have a relationship, and we integrate all of our parts, including the ones that we want to boost up. And first we have to rise our self up, right? Before we can go out in the world and make everything else better. So we work on the inside. Then the second part of it is to go from having relationship within and having some empathy for yourself. We work with our higher spirit, or whatever your belief is, with something that's bigger than all of us, that people that I work with have that feeling that there's something else out there, right? Something bigger than all of us. So then once we work with that and see that connection, have it all come together, we sort of get bigger and bigger, and we open up to all of our resources. And then we can come from that strongest place and move into that finding the resources, because you're so free. And that's what I call it when I'm coaching, is you're feeling free. Once you get through all that muckety muck and you discover these eye-opening, life-changing, it's just, you become so receptive, and so brilliantly receptive, where you're only allowing in the things that are aligned with that higher purpose. So then you really can go. There are 7 areas that you can work on. So it's like you can really focus in on any of the areas: health and well-being, relationships, career, life's purpose. That actual, you can focus in on the higher source connection. You can also focus in on bringing more joy or spark or flow into your life. And even financial abundance comes in there, because we all can upgrade on any of those levels, right?
Yeah, I just love how beautifully you've put this together, and you have this process, and what it means to really live a whole fulfilled life. Because I do find and hear often it's like 40 plus, it's like, okay, what's next? And that can even happen when we get out of college, or we get out of high school, or we get out of, it's a transitional period of time for many people at different ages. And this decade that you have the experience to really teach and coach upon, and help people through that process of finding like what's more, what's next, and what's holding me back from actualizing that which I desire, and to have like that process and system that you take people for. But like, let's not forget that you have 4 children, like someone that gets to really express that you can have it all. Like, you can have the fulfillment in your family life and be a wonderful mother, and still have a mission and help other people to live this fulfilled life. That really stood out to me being a new mom. I'm like, wow, this is so amazing that this is what you're doing, in your time right now. It's like you are the example that we get to really grow and evolve, and hold these different identities at every next level. And something that I came forward and through is like, okay, you've been coaching for 2 years, you've been teaching for decades, like you have the skills, and you really mirrored back to me of like, okay, I outgrew this job, outgrew this job, outgrew this job. And you're just this evolution of outgrowing, and the soul calling you. That happens at many stages, right? Like, I was just talking to Maria, who went through Amplified Impact with you, and she was teaching. And during her moments in teaching, she's like, there's something more. Like, I'm not meant to be a school teacher anymore. And she's, in her 30s. And so it's like, it can happen in different decades, but it's just a matter of like when you're evolving. It doesn't have to be this age. But how did coming into Amplified Impact help you to organize your business, that you've already been doing this, you already had a process? Like, what more did it give you? You were even working in marketing. So I'm like, oh wow, she's done so many things. I'm curious to learn like the takeaways that Amplified Impact brought to your business that you've already been in for so many years.
Yeah, that's a great question, because I really, really, when I was in marketing corporate, it was not the technology. We're all aware that the technology has like zoomed out of control very quickly. So for me, it's out of control. For you, you seem to have a handle on it. There were several reasons that I like fell in love with your program. And one of them was that technology end, where it was so obvious that it was almost like you didn't think about it. And I just found that you did it in such a natural, authentic way, where I just wanted to hug you and not tell you to buzz off and get out of my inbox, or like, so I was like, if she can do that and be so authentic. I'm like, I need to learn that, or maybe I can do that too, right? So that's really the the biggest thing I've taken away, and with that, the social media and coming into using social media, which I was phobic and only thought, people were comparing their vacations, and I don't really need to be on there, just comparing where I've gone. Um, but it's also that it's you and it's the way you are. And that's why we can all be assured that whatever we put out there, it doesn't matter if there are 15,000 other people doing it, you're going to you're going to connect with who you connect with, right? So, and you also said that. Yes.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that too, Erica, because I think this is a beautiful teaching moment of like, we can worry and wonder and question and doubt, like, am I emailing too much? Am I posting too much? Can I say this? Can I do that? What if? And then we don't always know how the other person on the other side is receiving that. And oftentimes, like Erica herself, they're feeling like, I felt you hug me. I almost wanted to cry in that moment. And it's like, she's never told me that before. Like, I didn't know that. Like, she actually like asked me a question on Facebook one day and I was like, let's talk when you can. And then the next minute she was signing up, and like, I didn't know that's how she felt or how she was experiencing me. And I think it's just a beautiful reminder. And I teach this a lot in Amplified Impact, is like, just show up, be who you are, and your energy is what's going to attract soulmate clients. And, there's so many things that Erica has said and shared and we've experienced together. And I'm like, she's just mirroring back to me, and I'm just mirroring back to her. And in that, it just like, it solidifies my teachings inside of Amplified Impact and what I've really been working to embody and overcome the fear and the doubt and the what if, and am I being too much, to like come back to like, no, because you're going to attract your perfect soulmate clients just by simply being real, by being authentic. And I always say, not vulnerability and authentic, like because it's a selling strategy, but like because it's who you are. And so, yeah, thank you so much for really sharing that and just, yeah, mirroring back to me, like to really believe in my own teachings even more, because you've never shared that with me myself. And yeah, I'm really excited to see and hear from you now, like being done with Amplified Impact for now, like what is new, what's coming in your business, what do you foresee growing forward?
Well, I had a group over the summer and I am multifaceted. So I also work in school still. I have one school, one very special school. So I started back with them, but I still have coaching available one-on-one right now. And I'm working on developing something with meditation. And that would be a group setting. So all online. So the what I do with the one-on-one coaching is just take people through that process that we just spoke about, and that's a 10-week. I'm sorry, it's a 10-session package, and I have lots of information on that. I actually, because of you, Amber, I have learned how to use Canva, and I was aware of it, and I would tinker, but now I'm like feeling actually comfortable and have fun with it. So I put all my info on my Canva, and now it's like I have a website, but it's not updated. So I'm like, okay, now that's my next move, is to get my website with this new stuff on it. But yes, one-on-one coaching is where I am right now, and I am moving forward into more of that, and then the meditation, because I really feel meditation is so important, and these safety, I mean, not safety, health, our self-care is what I was, not safety, but self-care on all of those higher levels is, it just, it makes all the difference, just through experience for me.
Yeah, I love that too, because what you just reminded me of is exactly what I was talking. I just did an interview with Maria, so I love that you guys are both here. Like, because she was getting out of teaching as she was moving. Erica is mirroring to you that you can have a job, you can have 4 kids, and you can grow your coaching business. Because oftentimes people think, I'm going to go all in on my business, but I need it to make money now. And for the nervous system, that can be really tight because it takes time to grow your business, and it takes time to plant the seeds and get your clients and get the testimonials. And it doesn't take a lot of time to do both. Like, if you're teaching yoga, if you have a career, if you have kids, if you're growing your business on the side, or if you're lucky, like Eric and I were talking about, it's like we were blessed to not have to go to work and be by our kids' side because we did have savings, we did have partners, we did have these other financial resources. And so if, someone's paying the bills for you, if you have an inheritance, if you save tons of money like I did in the beginning of my life, then you don't have to worry about the business getting results right away. But like if you want to do both, Erica's mirroring, Maria did, so many people are showing you that it doesn't have to be one way or the other. And we see that a lot online. We think that someone's like not doing something on the side, but you only see their business and you don't know how much time they're actually showing up. And so let Erica be an example for you today that, she's teaching, she has one-on-one coaching, she just finished a coaching container. She's also a mom of 4 boys, which I'm sure is a full-time job in all of itself. So I really love that you said, like, I'm doing both, and it's because I'm passionate about both. And yeah, of course, meditation for self-actualization. And what does that look like if someone wants to sign up with you? How can they connect with you? Where can they go to find you and work with you?
The easiest way is to follow me. My Instagram connects to my Facebook. My Facebook is the liveliest right now. So if message me there, you can also message me through Instagram. I've been connecting with a lot of people, and it's almost like underground. So I have opened up on these social media. I also have a private Facebook group, which I also did through Amber, and that's only for my summer group and anyone who comes into my one-on-one coaching containers. So that's a special community for them. So we also will be going forward with Facebook, with Instagram. That's also coming, and updating my website. So my website is erikaconnelly.com, and my email address would be erica@erikaconnelly.com. I'm also grief informed. So if anyone were to pop on my website, I didn't mention that multifaceted part of myself, which actually you don't know, but a lot of other people that I've worked with know. So I went through a lot of grief informed training as a grief educator. I went through grief movement classes, or actually certification, for both of those things. So I was using those to transform people through their moving from guilt to self acceptance, for example, things like that. Very gentle movements. And then the grief educator is just literally being peer support, but being informed of, it could be highs, lows, and everything in between. And it's a process, and everything is just, you have to meet people where they are each day. So that is right now on my website. I have still got a connection with a nonprofit that I work with, and the nonprofit serves families coping with loss of a loved one. So I still serve them. However, I'm evolving. So my current people are on this trajectory of leveling up to self actualization. So, but yeah, so Messenger, Instagram, message me on Instagram, and I can send you all the information on the one-on-one coaching. It's ready to go.
Yay. And I will put those in the comments in the show notes below. And Erica, I had this question that I would love for you to share. Like, what does it feel like? What does it look like when someone has self-actualized? Like, how do they know that they've broke through the glass? Like, what does that experience feel like? How do you know?
So we all have like little dips, in our, even if we come, I'm really feeling high level. I don't know if you want to call it frequency, but I have been traveling at this like really fast pace recently. And so I'm using myself as an example. Does that look like everything externally is shiny and new and perfect? Does it look like I'm driving like a crazy beautiful car? It's different. It's like I feel like I could save the world. You know what I mean? I just feel beaming, like things are coming out of my pores. So for me, it's that feeling free. Like you can accomplish whatever you're here to accomplish, and then some, because we can't see everything that's out there. I mean, my life has morphed so many times already. And it's just, I mean, even though I'm halfway through, I'm like, it still feels like it's only just beginning. So Yeah. So I feel like it's feeling free, and whatever focus you need to work on, it's finding the freedom in that, knowing that there is no ceiling, there's no glass. The glass is broken, shattered, crushed, and
Mm.
only the sun shines in.
I could feel that so much because I talk about like for me, like success being freedom. And it's just almost like you said, like, it's not that the external world is perfect. It's that you have the ability to respond to life and just feel like you're in your flow and you're in alignment and you're just like you're in your groove and no one can kind of take that away from you. And it's like doesn't mean you're not working on something, doesn't mean you're not growing towards something. It just means like contentment, at peace, like fulfilled. And that's really what I got from you when you were sharing that. And so, if you're not feeling that way, connect with Erica because she's going to help you break through any limiting beliefs, any doubts, any blockages that you're having and holding. And if you're desiring to grow your online business, then you can check out Amplified Impact in the show notes. Thank you so much, Erica, for being here. And I really love seeing you online, seeing you show up. And anyone that wants to connect with Erica, look in the comments, the show notes below, and I'll talk to you in the next episode. Bye.
Mm. Thank you, Amber. Mwah.